Hello and welcome to the GMAP training video series. My name is Erin Suddeth and I'm the branch manager for the Title I Part A Support and Improvement branch at the Kentucky Department of Education. This video includes instruction on the PPA list page in GMAP. Once again, I've logged into our GMAP test site as a test district for this demonstration. So I've logged into GMAP, I've navigated to the current consolidated application, and selected the PPA list page from the sections page, both of which are covered in the general overview and tips video in the GMAP training video series. PPA stands for per pupil amount and refers to the amount of the allocation spent per student at each school. GMAP automatically calculates the PPA based on the information provided on the school eligibility page. Only schools being served as indicated on the school eligibility page will be populated on this page, as well as their poverty percentages and their number of public school low-income students. The schools will be listed in rank order. If all schools served are above 35%, districts are not required to use the automatic PPA calculation. GMAP will indicate that this is the average PPA, and you can see that here near the top of the page, final PPA, this is the average PPA. For districts serving schools below 35% poverty, the PPA calculated by GMAP is the minimum PPA that may be used. GMAP will indicate that this is the minimum PPA allowed in these parentheses here. That means that every school on the list must have a PPA of at least the amount calculated by GMAP. Districts must serve schools with poverty of 75% or higher in rank order by poverty percentage. The PPA can be the same for all schools. However, schools with poverty of 75% or higher must be served with a PPA that is not lower than the schools ranked below them. If the district is using the high school prioritization question mentioned in the school program description page video, the high schools with poverty percentages between 50% and 75% should have PPAs greater than or equal to the elementary and middle schools with poverty percentages below 75%. And districts indicate they're using this optional prioritization on the school program description page, and a more in-depth description of high school prioritization is provided in that page's video. The district may then continue serving schools either straight down the poverty line or by grade span grouping. As discussed in the school program description video, grade span rank allows a district to serve, for example, all elementary schools despite a middle or high school falling in the middle of ranking. If using this option, the district must serve schools in rank order within the grade spans, and again, the PPA can be the same for all schools within the grade span. For districts using the direct certification times the 1.6 multiplier for the ranking of schools, this may cause several schools to be at 100% poverty. In this situation, the district must use direct certification data alone in order to ensure proper ranking and serving of schools. And on the school eligibility page, this is the percent rather than the adjusted percent. So let's take a look at the school eligibility page quickly so you know where that is. So if we use this first school on the list, you can see we have the percent and the adjusted percent. Now these are currently both listed as 87.5, and that's because our poverty factor for this school is free and reduced price lunch. So it's taking the number of low income students, 175, and dividing that by the total enrollment of 200. If we were using the 1.6 multiplier, there we go. Now the adjusted public number has bumped up to 200 and the adjusted percent has bumped up to 100. For rank and serve purposes, you would need to reference the percentages in this column, the percentages that are only based on the direct certification. As you assign PPAs to each school, The remaining balance at the bottom of the page will decrease. For example, once each school has been assigned a PPA, the remaining balance must be as close to zero as possible without being negative. PPAs in parentheses, that is negative. The amount of funds available on the PPA page is directly affected by the district set-aside page. The funds reserved at the district level are not available for allocation to schools. If you have negative $5 remaining on the PPA page, simply decrease a district set-aside by $5, and that will free up those $5 to be used on the PPA page, and that'll make your remaining balance zero. This option is often much simpler than going in and reworking every PPA. Of course, the opposite is true. A small positive balance on the PPA page can be eliminated by increasing a district set aside by that same amount. Although the U.S. Department of Education does not specify minimum or maximum amounts for PPAs, the non-regulatory guidance does state that the PPA at each school must be adequate to run a Title I program. As always, remember to use the Save and Go To tool to save your work before navigating to another page. Thank you for watching the GMAP training video series.